Hello and good morning, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium, once again with a video that I hope helps. Wednesday, this is Sunday, 3 days from now, Kim from Intuit View and I are going to do something together. I'm not quite sure what it is. She asked me to do a video with her, and we're going to do it on Zoom. How can I never remember that one? And that'll be available at some point, I guess, either on her side or my side or both. I'm not sure what it's about, but happy to be doing anything with her. She's quite good. Everybody likes her. Also, we're going live on New Year's Day at I'd write everything down because I have no memory. 1 o'clock. Gary and Bunny go live. I think we are alive, but we'll be go live on YouTube. Also, horoscopes for everyone will be out sometime. Okay, all that stuff's taken care of. Now the video. I've been walking, my wife's out of town, so I'm the dog walker. Very interesting where this dog drags you down to the pond to see the ducks. I just came back from dog walking, walked right up, turned the light on, turned the computer on, and to work on a book, and someone said, and I'm not sure how to even pronounce it. Maybe I better look that up. I don't know, parsimony or parsimony. You got me. Anyway, looked it up. I know what a parson is. Some kind of preacher. I know what a persimmon is. So it's a fruit. But I don't know what parsimony, or however that's pronounced, is. Parsimony. No idea what it is. And I thought I had a clue as to what it meant. I mean, sometimes you can't spell a word, but you know what it means. In this case, I had no idea. Not a clue. And I looked it up and it said, extreme unwillingness to spend money or use resources. Extreme unwillingness. I say that's our family, but it's probably every family right now, because time is getting short. You want to get toys for Christmas, you want to get a tree up, you want to do something to celebrate and give back, but extreme unwillingness means that it'll be a Christmas like I had when I was a kid, where you get a package, and in our house, Dad usually sat on the tree and he passed out gifts and had your name on it. You got the one he handed you, and then he'd hand you another one, then he'd hand you another one. Hopefully there were 3. And first package came around. I said, oh boy, this must be good. And I opened it up. It was a pair of socks. So your parents are buying you things they have to buy you anyway, and calling it a Christmas present. And then you'd get underwear, a 3-pack of underwear, or something you had to have anyway, and then maybe a bag of toys, or little toy soldiers or something, or a little car or something, real inexpensive. And I remember the first time I got socks or underwear, I was a little bit upset, that they couldn't think of something for me. And I realized that's just the way it was. That there just wasn't enough money to go around to get everybody what they wanted. So you might have grumped the first time. What, socks? I get socks for Christmas. And after that, the next time you just understand that we're just not rich. We don't have money. So that's extreme unwillingness, because socks back then, I don't know, a buck could get you a whole pile of them. So, and they had to buy that anywhere. You couldn't go around with holes in your socks because it was embarrassing. It was a big telltale thing when I was a kid. If you had holes in your socks or in your pants or in your shirt or anything, it was a sign that you were poor. And nobody wanted to look poor, even if you were poor. You were dressed. I always wore jeans and tennis shoes and a shirt. It was never a big issue for me to wear something. Must have bothered my brother a lot, because as it turns out, he was a closeophile. I don't know what that meant. He liked clothes and the colors and the matching things, and this had to match that, and the tie had to match that. And so he was really into clothes, where I just didn't care. I was a goofy kid, and he was setting his sights on something bigger. The business world, I'm sure even as a young kid, he was thinking, oh, this is... But he just loved clothes. Everything had to match. Shoes had to be shined. So you understand those things. I'm not sure anybody understands those things today, unless you really are poor. Because you can go down to these places that package up clothes and food and give it to you, and take it home, put it in a bag, and give it to your kid for Christmas, and he wouldn't know. He'd have no way of knowing. Well, where I grew up, I don't remember any such places like that. So I'm sure Dad scrimped to buy a pair of socks. So I started thinking, okay, well, at least I got a pair of socks and a little bag of toy soldiers that I can play with. It'll be fun. And it's amazing that you remember those better than the one where you really got something nice. I remember getting a bike once, and it was a $2 bike. It was used and painted brown and awful, and that was a gift. And it almost killed me. It was very funny. Going down a hill, the chain came off and wrapped around the brake, and it skidded all over. Almost killed me. So I spent a lot of time putting the chain back on it, but it was my bike. You remember the really beat up bike. You really don't remember the new bike. When Daddy started making some money, I got a new bike one year. Probably cost $20. It was a lot of money. You remember that junky old bike that almost killed you. It's funny how people today get Ferraris and, was that Mick Jagger bought his 33-year-old girlfriend a $2 million house. Okay, well, he can afford it. But if you're used to getting $2 million houses, it doesn't mean much to you. Getting a bike that I'd never had before, a bike, was a big deal. And I can describe it. It had these, on the very back end, someone had put these things you could open up and put books in, and the clamps would fall and hold them, so you could actually carry things. I thought that was pretty neat. You didn't see that on new bikes. It was this garbage bike that someone had adapted that and put it on there. That's pretty good ingenuity. And he had probably moved up to a better bike, and he sold his to Dad for $2. Pretty good $2 spent. Had a lot of fun on that old thing. Adventures. Will it stop? Will it not stop? Will the chain come off? Will I make it back home? Very interesting stuff. Adventures in a crappy bike. You didn't have that in a new bike. It all worked fine. But I remember the crappy bike better than anything. And the underwear and socks. Big deal in the old days. So what we have now going on is everybody is extremely unwilling to spend money or use resources of any kind, because we don't know what's coming next. Will it get worse? No, I'm assured that it won't, that things will slowly we're mired. Using the word mired, it means we're sort of stuck in the mud, and it'll spring loose. injecting people with shots left and right. And over the next few weeks and months, it should get better. We don't want to be stupid, but there's a bright spot on the horizon. Did I tell you the story about last night? I don't think I did. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Made a note. I'm big on notes. Standing out front late last night, and it was real quiet. You could hear this jingle kind of a sound. I thought, perhaps it's Santa. So I stood there for a while, and it went away, and came and went away. It was Santa was up there, circling, testing out the sleigh, because the big day's coming up. He wanted to check to see if Dancer and Prancer and Donner and Blitzen, all the reindeer were running correctly, because he only does this one day a year. And he came down and landed on the street right in front of my house. And I went out and I said, "What's wrong, Santa?" And he said, "Well, just what I said. He's testing the buggy, getting the kinks out of it." I gave him a little advice. It didn't steer very well this year. It sort of steered to the right. He was having difficulty with it. And I gave him a little advice. If you turn your head a little bit, then it'll steer different. I mean, that's what Rocket Man said. Rocket Man had that little fin on his hat, and he turned it, and that was steering. Anyway, he thanked me, and he said I could come see him at the North Pole if I was, interested. Of course, I am interested. And he said there's some tests along the way that I had to pass through the 7 levels of the candy cane forest. If I got through that, then I had to get through the sea of swirly, twirly gumdrops. And I said I would try. There are those of you who are Elf fans. It is available without paying on YouTube. You go there, and there's about 50 different ones, and they're all just segments of something, but eventually there's one on there that'll play all the way through. And it's quite good. What a great little movie. Anyway, I think that's about it. Extreme unwillingness. I think we should stick with that. Someone's saying very clearly after the first of the year things will get better slowly. So it's noticeable, but you're not going to be euphoric over it. And then as you slowly, it's one of those things that happens and you don't notice it's happening. More restaurants open up. People again doing activities again that they have not done for a while. And at some point we'll achieve that herd immunity that Fauci and all those guys are looking for. It's 80 to 90% or something like that. Again, don't hold me to facts. I don't deal in facts. I deal in abstracts. And we'll be as normal as we can be. Peace is on the way, someone's saying quite clearly. Dawn of a new age of peace and cooperation. Having to do with not being so angry in our White House and all the people that have been injected into positions that definitely don't belong there. Diplomats are diplomatic. They make deals. They schmooze. They get things done. And we'll have new ones and some old ones that were good, and life will move on. We catch a break, things get better. Ooh, you hear that jingle? Is that Santa Claus? Probably not in the daytime. Probably afraid that he'd be seen. Oh, by the way, he has a sore ankle. His right ankle's a little sore. So next couple of days he's going to be kicking back hot chocolate, cookies, things like that, get his strength back up. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.